internets. I'm Michael and this is Toucan Play That Game. So today on the channel we have our next instalment of Game Night in Review. So Game Night was a couple of nights ago and I played, let's see, first there was Snow Tails, so we'll talk a little about that. There was then Spyfall, so we'll also feature that in today's episode. And then finally, the last game was Saboteur. So those are the three games we'll touch on in today's episode. Before I talk about the games, just a small kind of caveat about what this program actually is. So these are just the small discussion, my thoughts and opinions on the games that were played at Games Night by me. So any reviews and opinions I'm giving, keep in mind that they are not necessarily based on a large number of plays with a varied number of players. But hopefully it'll help you see what games I'm playing, see what I'm interested in, and hopefully you'll be interested in them too. Okay, so let's talk about the first game, Snow Tails. Well, I actually brought this one. We have it here on the shelf. I don't want to go into too much detail. If you do want to learn more about Snow Tails, there is a series of videos I have already done on that game, so please do check out those. I will include a link in the description for that. What I will say is that it went down very well. So it was the first game we were playing, and we played the introductory course. Everyone picked it up really easily, really enjoyed it. While I was kind of trying to talk to people about playing a different game, everyone else wanted to play again. So we actually played it a second time, and it was still really good, and we played a much more difficult course, and it was great fun for everyone playing, I think. So yeah, that was Snow Tails. Next was Spyfall, and this is why someone was learning the rules for Saboteur. We played a quick game, well actually I think we played 2 or 3, I can't remember exactly, rounds of Spyfall. Now obviously this was a big party game hit of last year, of 2015. I had actually been wanting to play that for quite a while, because there'd been so much buzz on this game, you know, that it was fantastic, and I must say I was kind of disappointed. It's an okay party game, you know, but at the end of the day it is just a party game, and I tend not to like party games. So for those of you that don't know, the concept of Spyfall is that one of the players is a spy who has fallen behind enemy lines and lost his memory. So he doesn't know where he is, and he has to try and figure out where he is, and the rest of the people know where they are and are trying to find out who the spy is without giving away where they are. So the way this works is you go around the table, one person asks another person a question. It could be, what do you wear here, what's the weather like here, etc. That person that they ask then answers the question. Once they've answered the question, they then direct a question at a different player. It cannot be the same player again. And you go around like this until the spy thinks they know the location, at which point they'll go, it's that location. Or until the non-spies think they know who the spy is and they'll point to them. Once everyone's pointing at the spy, they then have to reveal whether or not they're the spy. Obviously this is very much a all-these-one and a hidden role game. So yeah, I mean it was an okay party game. I didn't find the whole questions. I didn't know what to ask, and I felt like that was common around the table. Even with people who had played it before, there was a lot of asking questions and you just got such vague answers back that you had no idea. And so yeah, I mean it worked, but it wasn't great fun. But yeah, I mean, by all means, do check it out. It's reasonably cheap. So yeah, that's Spyfall. So then, let me talk about the final game that I played at Game Night, and that was Saboteur. Now, Saboteur is again a hidden role game, really. and so it's got that, but it doesn't have the all these one, because there's an aspect of you're trying to get points. So in this, gold is points, and you want to have the most gold, and you're all dwarves in this mine trying to get the most gold, unless you're kind of working together to get the gold, unless you're the Saboteur. So it's an interesting game. I definitely enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Spyfall. So the way the game actually works is you're dealt your roll cards at the beginning, and it's got that lovely mechanic where you don't know that there is a traitor. There might be, there might not. And I really like that, because it means you can kind of go, oh, well, I don't know, well, maybe there isn't one. So it kind of keeps the game interesting for me in many ways. So the way the game actually works is you have cards that either have special powers that like disable characters, change the layout of the map, etc. Or you have map cards that you can play that map out. And you have 3 possible destinations you're trying to go to. 2 of those are false destinations, and 1 is the true destination with the gold. Now, if you're the Saboteur, you're trying to stop the dwarves reaching the gold. If they don't reach the gold, you get a ton of points. If the dwarves reach the gold, everyone except the Saboteur gets to pick from that gold. Whoever found the gold on their turn gets to draw first. And if there was a Saboteur, will get extra gold. So there is kind of this mechanic of you don't just want everyone to win and find the gold, you want to be the one who finds the gold. So that also kind of helps with that possible traitor, because, well, I mean, let me go through an example. Our first game, you play 3 rounds, sorry. So the first round, I was a Saboteur. I did terribly. Everyone immediately knew I was a Saboteur, and the other guys got loads of gold. The second round, there was no Saboteur, and we got just fighting over who would actually get to the gold first. No one knew there definitely wasn't a traitor, but everyone was working against each other, because everyone was like going, no, you can't have the gold, I want the gold. So that worked really well. So my final thoughts on this, it definitely falls into that party game category. I'm not a huge fan of games that the hidden role is such a big part of the game, but with the whole card layouts and what cards you play, that did help mitigate that a fair bit for me. So yeah, I mean, check it out. So obviously, with this being Toucan play that game, I do just want to talk a bit about the fact that none of these games, well, sorry, Tails, if you check out my videos, you can see is a 2-player, can play 2 people. But Spyfall and Saboteur, not for 2 players, and it's that whole hidden traitor thing. You're never going to be able to have a hidden role, hidden traitor game that's 2 players. It just can't work. And obviously that means these don't work for 2 players. They're party games, so that kind of puts them down. You know, they're not high on my list of games to play again in the future. Would I play them again? Probably I would choose not to play Spyfall. I would be willing to play Saboteur again though, but I would definitely not be planning to get either of those for myself. So that was game night this week. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Game Night in Review. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you will check out the rest of the videos on the channel and subscribe to the channel. And as always, bye for now.